You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hello, happy day. This is the Street Angels Show here in the heart of Hollywood at tradiov.com. Thank you for watching and joining us today. Have a really cool show and topic. Today's topic is multi-vibrational sound therapy, which is really cool. A lot of people haven't heard of that kind of thing, and that's why I wanted to bring someone on and kind of talk about it. And just the purpose of the show is to help others and spread advice and wisdom and cool stuff. And so this is meant to kind of open your mind and higher consciousness and just expose you to cool new stuff, right? So welcome to the Hollywood scene. I just wanted to snap this because it's cool. I am Mandolin Reese. I'm known as the Street Angel or the LA Street Angel, and I wear like angel wings, and I go all over the country. I take it to the airports even, and which is the funnest because I get an international sampling. But I basically wander around like Where's Waldo in public settings, and I just promote kindness and positive messages. I want to show you my newest posters I made. This one, have patience, hope, and faith, forgive, be at peace. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I've made them a little smaller so I can like sneak them into these higher end events I've been going to, because you kind of need to like be stealth. You know, they kind of fold up and they're like, I am innocent, I don't have anything. And then whoosh, I have a sign so I can bust it out on the photo shoots or the red carpets. So this is my newest one. I haven't even taken it out yet. So this is your first time seeing it. It says, let's all work together for the good of all. Everyone likes rainbows, right? So, got to be colorful. So that is me. Now that you know who I am, let me introduce my awesomeness guests. I had someone cancel last minute, so I brought in awesome Devon Rick Johnson to be my guest co-host today.
Woohoo!
How's it going, Devon Rick?
Good. How you doing?
I'm excellent. So he's like an actor, model, but he's also an inspirational, motivational speaker, and so I really like to hear what he has to say and what he offers to the world. And my awesome guest over here to my left, we have K.B. Solomon.
It is I.
Isn't he have an awesome voice?
And Devon Rick.
Yeah, nice to meet you, KB.
This is great.
Yeah, I love his voice. So I met KB when he had a class, his first class, at a place called The Gateway. So The Gateway is a really cool, like, spiritual school, and they have all sorts of classes from all sorts of cool spiritual people. You can get healings, meditations, and just exposure to awesome new stuff. And yeah, this is the workshop. This is the one coming up.
Yes.
You want to talk about it?
Yes, it is, of course. It is on June 27th at 7 p.m. at the Gateway Portal.
2016.
2016.
And so what do people experience at this kind of workshop?
Well, this kind of workshop is dealing with vibrational sound therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And the title is Multi-Dimensional Vibrational Sound Therapy via the human vocal cords.
Mm.
We all at one time or another have experienced the vibrations of someone like Dr. Martin Luther King, who was known for he had a vibration. When he spoke, you could feel it.
Very eloquent speaker.
Yes, so that happens with many things, from drums to music. And some people they're more intense, that vibrational sound that comes from them. And I was, so this workshop is the purpose of this workshop is to prove, I come from a scientific point of view, first of all, how that research in science has proven that the human nervous system responds to vibrations via the cerebellum. Yes. Okay. You ever listen to music and you get those chills?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So scientifically, what's happening is your cerebellum is being stimulated by the vibrations of the sound, and it releases healthy dopamine into the nervous system, which is good for everything.
Depending on the kind of music you're listening to.
So you can get the opposite. Negative vibrations can stress you.
Oh, I have a story about that.
Yes.
I saw a study it was a video on YouTube, a documentary. They did a study on water, and I think I might have actually mentioned this on a different show, but I want to tell it again because you're on the topic. We're a huge percentage of water in our body, and the sound waves affect the water harmonization in our body. So the study basically showed that the certain kind of music affected water in the way it froze. So instrumental, beautiful piano type, gentle music froze water in really perfect snowflake shapes, really beautiful.
Wow.
And then when they played rock and roll headbanger, basically brain shattering music, the water froze in a scattered pattern. So the type of music that you listen to literally will have an effect on the waves and the water and everything in the harmonization of your body.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So
that is scientifically correct in every way. In fact, if you were looking at the water molecules that make up your anatomy, when you get that chill, you will actually see the molecules change shape in your body. That's what you're feeling.
Wow.
see,
Yeah.
look, that Jay's
Yeah.
pulled up a cool.
There we
little-
go.
Oh, wow.
See,
wow.
yes.
I wonder if that'll change the shape
Yeah.
of my sweat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, man, I sweat like a crazy person. And that's, it's liquid,
Well,
right?
sweat's good. It detoxifies the body.
Oh.
And on that note, you should wear deodorant that does not have heavy metals like aluminum in it, because that actually blocks your detoxification system, and those toxins stay in your body, and then it leads to more things like cancer and tumors. So change your deodorant if you're watching this.
Get better deodorant now.
Get better. Yeah. I mean, you might have to carry around a better holistic deodorant because you kind of reapply it more often than the aluminum, but it's better for your health. Trust me.
That's right.
Okay,
You know,
I totally
can-
went off on a
Can
tangent.
I say something about the vibrations?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yes.
I've been doing this this 30-day law of attraction meditation thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, huh? You should try it.
I
I'll
will.
send you the link.
Okay.
Anyway, so every time I do it, I have to be quiet, and then there's like a hum or like a sound that they put on or that I listen to for this meditation, and literally immediately it comes on. I'm like, I'm into a different zone, and then when it goes off, I'm back to my normal self. So I wonder if that has any effect, like the vibrations and stuff like that when you do a meditation and stuff like that.
Absolutely. In fact, what scientists are rediscovering is that thought is energy.
Oh, of
Okay.
course.
And
It can be
and,
measured.
and if you a basic demonstration is when I grew up, we called April Fool's Day, and I was very good at fooling you. I had a sister that was very negative, and I'd come in, Barbara, oh my God, the kid in the street hit by a car. We lived on a fast street, and she was frantic, but over nothing because it wasn't true.
Yeah.
But her thoughts, it affected her facial expressions.
Yeah.
Her whole demeanor changed.
Yeah.
Tears were in her eyes.
Yeah.
And that's why people say, I mean, you can lie and cause someone to feel a certain way, act a certain way, behave a certain way. So I think that's an example of how thought is energy. It controls the way you act, the way you respond.
Well,
And-
actors have that talent, right?
Yes.
They have to exhibit that emotion and draw the reaction out of the audience.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to get back into your background
Yes.
because your voice is spectacular. You used to be in opera.
Yes.
So let's hear about that past.
Well, I tell you, I still do some opera.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
just
stop.
Yeah.
Can we hear something?
You want to hear something?
Yeah,
You
just
wanna
something
bust
real
it
quick.
out?
Just real quick.
Yeah, my good
I hate to
pitch
put you on the spot,
Oh,
but
I'm not. That's okay. I like spots.
Sorry for my feathers.
I'm going to give you. I'm what they call an opera basso profundo.
Okay.
That is profound bass, meaning you have the low bass, bass baritone, and baritone.
Okay.
Then you have a tenor, and you have a countertenor, male voice. The bass being the lowest. Profound bass, his vocal range covers the low bass, bass baritone, and part of the baritone range without the voice splitting. Yeah. So for demonstration, I'll give you a sample of my range. So this would be this would be in high F, which is pretty hard for a lot of basses.
Okay.
Okay. Then going low. Like,
I think
That is amazing. I did not expect that. When you just, I jumped out of my
I
seat.
know. We
Whoa.
almost fell over.
I hope I didn't
It's
mess
beautiful.
with the mic. Yeah.
Blow the mic.
So
Sound check. No, I'm just kidding.
but I was actually a voice soprano till I was about just before I turned 15. My voice actually changed overnight. I was barely-
Oh, is that like the whole maturity
Yeah.
thing? When
Yeah.
I've heard that happens to guys. They're like one day they're like, and then the next day, oh.
Oh yeah. I was happened over a spring break from school, and I got back to school. Imagine me. I barely weighed 115 pounds, and all the girls thought I were trying to be macho, putting on,
Were you singing like in the choir or anything like that in school?
For a little while I didn't know what to do with this. I mean, it just happened so fast. But yeah, I started doing it in the bass in all the choirs.
Okay.
Everybody wanted that bass.
Yeah.
In fact, that's how I found my path into opera. I got several voice scholarships.
Okay.
Nice.
I was offered many, but I studied at Portland State University,
Okay.
UCLA, but the bulk of my work was done at the University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music. So I had a full ride, and they treated me much like a football star.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I'm an athletic. I come from an athletic background, and you said they treated you like a football star.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in Texas, football is king, and when you're in college, your life is considered it's all athletics. I always wanted to know about the people in the art school.
Yeah.
Is it the exact same way?
Yeah, all about the arts.
So you're like literally
Yeah.
like sun up, sun down. You're just in your sake singing.
Yes, I was in all the operas, whether I had a major part or a supporting role or in the chorus, and
Okay.
I was in the singing groups and working with Cincinnati Opera. But you're immersed in the arts. Basically, you're training the voice, the acting skills, and relating with people. And
So what happened that turned you into, you still do opera, but
Yes,
what
yes.
happened to where you suddenly decided, I'm going to start doing workshops and multi-dimensional sound therapy and help and heal?
well, I grew up in a very conservative religious environment.
Me too. I know
And,
the feeling.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're from Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Us three. We all have that in common.
Yeah.
And grew up in the South, and
Yep.
the story is much longer than we have airtime. But long story short, my thing was I was a white child, and my mom's
what?
a white child. You ask a question, I said, why you want to know?
Okay.
But I
Oh,
wasn't
why? I thought you
yeah.
said
Why?
wild or
Yeah.
white. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what do
Yeah.
you mean?
Why? So I was my mom's why, but she said, well, God loves you. I said, but why? And why? I want to know why there was bad in the world versus good, and if God was almighty, then why all this? And when they said we have free will, well, God needs to take free will away if we can't handle it. So I was like that. But in my course of it was a very deep thing for me, understanding why. And when I grew up in the projects in a very low income area, and no one had expected my kind of talent to come out of there. And I found my way to what I do now simply by as I traveled. I lived in Germany for 2 years, and I was looking around at the world. I said, something is wrong with humanity.
You don't have to look very far to figure
Yes.
out something.
I mean, something's amiss. And I said, what is it? And I long story short, it dawned on me over a course of time that humans, their vibrations, the way they think, what they imagine to be, needs to change. And I through much research and spiritual research as well as scientific research, I'm convinced that we paint the canvas of life by how we think, because we behave how we think, and we get to pick up vibrations. And I said, I figured out that music can actually change the way you perceive your environment.
Oh, on
Yes.
that note, his website, kbsolomon.net, I really like, if you just go to the website and you immediately start talking and there's like music and it's a very soothing voice that that you're talking, but the things that you say are very profound. So it's really worth just to go to his website and just listen to what he's saying, because that alone can help kind of open and broaden your mind and your perspective on earth and life. And we're like all on the same team. That's why I wanted
Yes.
to bring you guys
Yes.
together. We're into unity, humanity
Yes.
as a whole, regardless of race, color, religion, whatever, yada yada, whether you're gay or
Right,
straight.
right.
We just want people to work together and care about each other and have more harmony as a species of humanity. It's not that hard, and yet it is.
Yes.
So that's why I made the new poster, and you created a organization. Let's hear
Yes.
about that.
Yes, Orpheus for Peace. And basically in a nutshell, what Orpheus for Peace is about is using the arts to promote peace and social justice and harmony throughout the world, throughout our social environments. And I find that when things are put to music, things that would not necessarily be palatable can be palatable when it comes to music. And music carries a message.
Yes,
And
it does.
we are able to change the way people think through song. In fact,
And vibration.
Yes, yes.
All of it.
yes. In fact, someone said that sounds a little abstract, and I said, okay, give you an example. Like the word hello. Okay, I can say to you, hello. I say to you, hello. but I said the same word, but I
Yeah.
said a
I
different
say,
vibration.
how dare.
You see?
Yeah.
And like I said, you can say hi, hi, but we carry vibrations all the time, and sometimes we're not changing our words, but we're meaning something different.
Yeah.
And with music, you can music vibrations carry a message that the walls people when you begin to speak, sometimes people they lift a wall in front of you. They're not listening. Put it to music, it goes right through that wall, and it surpasses that.
Okay.
And that is a gift from source.
Right.
And this kind of gift can be used for negative or positive. And I noticed this in my opera experience, how music excited people. I saw people who were a little depressed. The music would uplift them. Little people were too wiry. You play the right music, they
can
would
bring
calm
tears
down.
out of people.
I mean,
Make 'em
really
emotional.
macho guys. I've seen them cry at a song. And I said, why are you crying? I don't know. It's just, but they received a mess. The purest form of communication is vibrations. I remember when I was a child in church, this old lady came in, and she said this prayer. All she said was, "Oh Lord and oh Lord," and she said something different every time. It went like this. She said, "My son, oh Lord, the preacher, oh Lord, and oh Lord, my uncle, oh Lord, and that child over there, oh Lord, and oh Lord, and oh Lord, and oh Lord," and the church is crying. And she had that. I was a little child sitting there going. All she
Sounds
said
like
was,
my
"Oh
grandma."
Lord,"
Sounds like my
But,
grandma right there. Oh
yeah,
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I discovered that music is one of the great ways we can lend humanity a hand by sending out better vibrations
Right.
and making people feel better about each other. And I firmly believe we're all part of one great whole. And I may not be the eye, but you're not the hand either, who wipes the tears from the eye. So the eye can say to the hand, "You have no value." I didn't pay much attention as a child to my little baby toe till I hit it on the corner of a dresser.
Right.
And I lost my religion right there. I mean, I said so many words that, I was in pain, how such a little thing went through my body. So I look at humanity like that. The smallest part in the world is just as important as the greatest part. And I often say, imagine. You ever been to a concert where a band is playing and that energy enters the room and everybody feels
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
That's because everybody, their mind is on this song and its vibration. And an energy comes from source right there. And I said, imagine a city or a town that comes to harmonize like a song in thought for peace, for better behavior. And energy would enter that town.
I think
And it
we
would- it
had
would-
some songs like that, back in the hippie days,
Yes.
60s, 70s. I think
Yes.
we're, trying to bring that peace
Yes.
and love, harmony
Yes.
back. So
Yes.
we definitely need more people in the music industry
Yes.
to get involved in having positive songs with
Yes.
positive, vibes,
Yes.
literally, that go into people.
Messages.
Yeah. The dark side likes to use subliminal messages, but
Yes.
we're not going to get into that.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
there is all forces at work, right?
Yes, and I call my workshop multidimensional vibrations, is because I'm convinced that the invisible world that is invisible to our eyes feels our vibrations.
What's your workshop all about? What can people learn and get from it?
Well, the first thing I want to point out to people is that through vibrations is that there's more to you than your physical anatomy. And one of the questions I ask in my workshop, do you know who we are? And here we are with this advanced technology, and we don't even know our origin as humans. And we have our theories through religion and science, but really, who are we? Where do we come from? From whom did we come? And I find it odd, I really do, that we have been living this long on this planet and don't know that. And my question is, why? And one of the answers that came to me is that what we are is unspeakable, but we can communicate it through vibration.
Okay.
And really what we are is too fantastic for words. And not knowing that enables us to be so cruel. If I really knew what that young man on the street was, I would never pick up a gun to try to snuff out his life. If I
Right.
really knew what he and I were part of. And lacking that knowing, we become ignorant. We become ignorant in our behavior toward each other. I look at people, how could you do that? How could you cause so much pain? Because, well, what are we really? Are we just air? Are we just breathing and then we're gone? I think as as I look about life, I have this strong urge that we are something greater than words can say.
Divine.
Yes.
We're all
we
connected.
Yes, we are an essence of the source of all things right here.
We're consciousness.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was
Yes.
thinking about that
Yes.
last night. I was laying in bed and like, how do you define what consciousness is? I mean, if everything's energy, it's some form of energy embodiment, and to where, we're looking out of these eyes, but what is up in there? You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
spirit.
Yes.
And so, we're mind, body, spirit, and
Yes.
the multi-vibrational. With your workshop, I think it really draws into people's inner child, into
Yes.
their inner innocent spirit.
Yes.
Like I went to your workshop and people were coming in off the street, like just passers-by that were waiting for the bus or something. They heard your beautiful singing and they were drawn into the room, and they ended up staying there for the whole workshop. Strangers off the street. It's not like they got the email like, hey, this is the workshop. No, they were just drawn in. And the beauty in your message is it applies to everybody. Just to get people reconnected with themselves and with others.
Yes. And as you and to address the question you asked, my goal is to, through my brand of vibrational sound therapy, is to show each individual that you are an essence of source, which was not created, therefore will not be destroyed. And someone said, how do you do that? It's not a how, it's a vibration. It's something that you would know. And someone said, you're going to make me know? No, you will know. You will. In other words, one guy said to me, I was singing on another occasion, he says, dude, what was that, dude? And he was touching, he was like, dude, I felt it everywhere. I said, you finally felt you. The you that animates this physical house.
I hate to get off subject,
That's right.
but this is kind of like on the same line. So
Yes.
when we talked about doing martial arts.
Yes.
And I think I told before, and last time I was on the show, I study Wing Chun, and what I study now is Jeet Kune Do. And when I first started Jeet Kune Do, my Sifu would always say, when you get it, you'll get it. And I never knew what that meant. And then one day I was, training or practicing, and then something came over my body, and I just knew exactly why I was doing this, the feeling, the inspiration, and just like the entire like positive surge that I got from just knowing what I was doing and why I was doing it and where I could take it. It sounds a little bit like your vibrational sound therapy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If martial arts for me has been something that's been a lifesaver. I was kind of like a real physical rah type guy, and then when I started doing martial arts, I became more soft and not as physical and more spiritual. And
Did you think it would like balance you out?
oh, absolutely.
It kind of gave you that outlet. We have to go to commercial real quick, but when we come back, let's really dive deeper into how that connects with everything. The physical, the mind, body, spirit. I'd love to talk more about that because they actually have that in common. So stay with us. We'll be right back with the Street Angel Show on TRadioV.com. Thanks.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hi, this is Madeline Reese, the LA Street Angel, and I have my talk show here in the middle of Hollywood. So come hang out with me, learn some awesome, new, cool, spiritual stuff. And it's every Thursday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. TRadioV.com.
LA Street Angel, called to heal these streets.
T Radio V.
Wipe away the dust with your sacred wings. LA
All right, we're back with the LA Street Angel Show, segment 2 of our multi-vibrational sound therapy show. We've got KB Solomon and we got Devon Rick Johnson here. And apparently we've discovered, they are both into martial arts. So let's hear more about that. You've got a 20-year background?
Yes.
What kind?
second-degree black belt in Shorin Kung Fu, first-degree black belt in Shorin Ryu Karate, extensive
Whoa.
training in Jiu-Jitsu, Filipino stick fighting, broadsword, staff, tunifa, sai, and just anything else I can use, a chair, a book.
So you do a screamer? Or is
Oh,
it Kali?
Yeah, Kali.
Kali?
would
Okay,
be
okay. Nice,
good.
See, I love how this falls into place. I had no idea they were both into martial arts. So, and that works
Yeah,
out, you know? So,
You know, one thing I learned. People always used to. You ever watch Bruce Lee?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, like when Bruce Lee used to be like, "Wah!" and yelling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the reason is when I used to practice, I first, I didn't let anything go. I was kind of just like going at it. But when I started letting air out and just letting whatever came out of my body,
Yes.
it made me feel the, like you said, a vibration,
Yes.
like something positive, just wah when
Yeah.
I came out. And I think Bruce Lee was onto something back in the day when he was training, teaching people. You know, he was a big philosopher. He was all about the soul. He knew something about martial arts that could help people and just bring something out of them positive.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure you feel the same way, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I love Bruce Lee. I mean, I saw this guy when I was a teenager, and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I remember when he came out, guys would come to school with broken arms and legs. But I started when I got much older. But I would say you're absolutely right. It helped me getting in touch with the concept that we are dealing with energy, and it balanced me. Had you met me before I had achieved my martial arts training, I was more apt to fight you. When now, to fight me, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
First, you're gonna have to catch me. And if you manage to do that, then maybe we get it on. But,
Yeah.
but one of the things my sensei, we reached a good sensei evaluates his students and to see where your psyche is, whether or not you can handle the knowledge that you are being imparted. I was one of his students that he saw that my vibrations were totally positive. And he often said, you have a good karma. Your purpose is good. And he began to teach me things about the spirituality in martial arts. And one of the things he told me, some people thought it was demonic from the religious perspective.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at him and said, no, I don't think so. So
someone said martial arts was demonic?
Well,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
just like the way that you go about trying to figure out your spirit and
Oh.
your
Yeah.
soul.
Well,
it's not
yeah.
exactly from where we come from.
Right.
Like South's not exactly.
Right.
For
religious-
example, the mantis, the tiger, the eagle, was he was explaining those animals have an energy or a life spirit that it controls their movements. They don't have an eagle doesn't go to school to learn to fly,
Yep.
and a tiger doesn't go to school to learn to be ferocious. It comes out when it's ready. And what he was explaining was part of my training now went to embracing the energies that were available in the world, like the spirit of a tiger. He said there's an energy that exists that you can embrace that will join your fight. And that was a journey in itself.
Did you figure it
Oh,
out?
absolutely.
Okay.
And
What is your energy?
well, it's
Sorry.
not it's the embracing the energy in everything. In other
Okay.
words,
Okay.
if I'm fighting,
Yeah.
I may need to embrace the energy of a monkey,
Okay.
or the energy of a tiger,
Okay.
or an eagle, or
Okay.
the mantis.
Would also depend
me-
on the
Yeah.
opponent.
Like
Yeah.
For me, it's the butterfly.
Ah.
Embracing the energy of a butterfly.
Ah.
So just perseverance and
Yes.
stuff like that, and just trying to instead of being hard,
Yes.
being more soft,
Yes.
and understanding that you can fly anywhere you want to go.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And the thing is to be like what we are, water. Water flows.
Yep.
And if it is opposed, it doesn't quit moving. It
Yeah.
just slowly engulfs. But the amazing thing is that how it is an art of peace, and often the Western world, through the commercializing of it, makes it an art of violence. And actually, the style he taught me is a way of peace. It is not preparing to kill or destroy, but his thing was it's training your body to its the best of its capabilities. And it was all about preparing the body for what the mind demands. And that's life in general. And when our body is not ready to embrace what's on your mind, there's conflict, there's imbalance.
Yeah.
Well, the body has to get balanced
Yes.
with what's going on. Like if you get
Yeah.
more enlightened and spiritual and open-minded,
Yes.
naturally you've got to get your body more in order to handle those higher light dimensions or frequencies or whatever you want to call it. But I know that I personally have really adjusted the way I eat and exercise, like taking more vitamins, like everything has had to go with learning and growing and expanding. And so it's been an interesting journey.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of randomly ask you about, you were working with kids, right?
Yes, yes. I've done, I did not have it titled as sound therapy at the time, but it's nevertheless the same. I frequented centers, detention centers for children who were capable of committing crimes or had committed crimes. All of them have been abused in some way. And
What age group roughly?
From 5
Oh, wow.
to about 12.
Yeah, I think if they've been abused, they don't know how to deal with
Right.
what they're coping with, and
Right.
so they act out in
Right.
whatever ways that manifests.
Right.
So
And
your
yeah.
singing helped.
Yes, and well, some of the children's journeys were just horrific. I
Right.
won't bother. Just horrific. Just think horrific. But there was a
Sad.
particular kid there I had no knowledge of. That was a rather large group of maybe about 20 for kids, and they had their counselors with them, and I was singing, and I don't recall what I was singing that day. But anyways, after I sang, this one little boy ran up to me and just threw his arms around me and laid his head against me and just
Aww.
closed his eyes, and his counselor came up and peeled him off, and she was looking at me wide-eyed, and,
Like, what just happened?
and she said to me, "What you don't understand, he was extremely abused sexually, and that no one was able to touch him, much less a hug was pain to him."
Wow.
And she said she had never seen him hug, and she said, "You were a stranger," and she said, well, your song somehow reached somewhere in him.
Yep.
And see, this was another reason I started what I do. When I do my vibrational sound therapy, there are people they're being helped in a way that's we don't know. And I mean, he was 9 years old, and the song wasn't about him or about being abused, but the vibrations moved that part of him.
It's
that,
healing.
Yes, and I believe that we come into this world of pure divine essence, and you watch children. They don't care what color you are, male or female. They feel vibration. And I have children, and I remember my oldest daughter when she was born. I was there to catch her out of the womb. I cut the umbilical cord, and it was the most amazing thing. First thing I said, if I had to go through that would be the last child. But I would like to say women are stronger than I. I don't know.
I second that.
You guys are amazing. But she comes out, and when she comes out, she's looking around like this, and she looks at me and goes, and she looks around the room at something else. She goes, and she goes, like, who are these people? And I'm convinced that children come in much more and have an ability to see. And we tell them they're imagining, and we give them Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the stork, and we take on these layers of character based on our environment. But this particular child, what happened with him, vibrations reached that pureness in him, and it relieved him.
Wow.
And without words. So this was a demonstration to me to say that people can be helped. Sometimes you're lost for words, but sometimes you can say,
Yeah.
In fact, I met this lady. She said, "I'm tired of hearing the Lord's Prayer. I heard it all my life." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be." And she's like,
Such deep
yeah,
notes you can
it was,
do.
Yeah, but she
Yeah.
said, I never heard it that way.
Uh-huh.
I said, because now it was about the vibrations. So I like to say to people, you've heard someone walk in a room and they don't say a word. You can tell they're in a bad mood because we do send out,
They have
our
that
thoughts send out
cloud.
vibrations.
And the look on their face. And
So
stuff.
change the state of mind of people, you change the world. and that's what my vibrational therapy is all about. It's not so much about what I always say. It's the vibrations that I was working with an engineer. When I sing, there are overtones. Overtones are sounds that, well, for example, if you play a piano, the old school piano, and you hit when the piano is in perfect tune, you hit well a lower key. You can hear, if you listen, you can hear the other strings ringing. But see, that happens with the human voice as well. Some voices have overtones,
Multiple
and
harmonics.
and if you're in a on
So
certain
if
songs,
so, if you sing, then it's gonna vibrate to me, so I can be able to sing good too. Huh?
oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Y'all could like team up or something, and like I had suggested to him he should work with more, youth shelters. Remember
Absolutely,
that, like
absolutely,
teens,
yes.
because I think being a teenager is hard. They're going through the hormones. They're
Yes.
trying to figure out their identity, where they belong, who they are, what clique they're in. So it's like, especially if they've had abuse in their life or bad childhood of any kind. I think you do mentorships.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that, and how it could connect. But
I mean,
what have you done?
As being a at-risk teen myself or youth, you're just trying to find. You just want to fit in. You just want to be liked. You just want to have people around you. And and the thing that I realized that sometimes people look at physical ways, which was sports for me. Other people look for kind of like musical. They migrate to whatever makes them feel good at the time, or whatever helps them release their energy. So the thing that I've done, I've gone to like different schools and put together mentorship programs for kids where they can come out and express themselves. And also, during that time, I teach them a little kung fu, so they can understand.
Cool.
So it's like and what I call is active meditation. I don't teach them how to hit something. I teach them how to move their body and understand what their body's doing.
Right.
And
That's pretty cool.
yeah. I think it's been something that I wish when I was a kid that somebody showed me. So therefore, I know if it's helping me
Yes.
in the way that I thought back then, I could definitely see
Yes.
that out to somebody else.
Yes.
And I had a student who did come to me, and he was like, "Hey man, I never wanted to learn anything about kung fu. I always thought it was kind of funny or whatever, but the thing that you showed me helped me because I understand it's how active meditation." I'm like, whenever you feel someone's said something wrong to you, or you feel someone did something wrong to you, or something bad happened to you, just go in a space and just start practicing what I taught you. A little movement, like active meditation. You don't have to just sit there and because sometimes with kids, especially teens, if you want to try to teach them meditation, it's hard because it's hard for them just to sit still and just be quiet. So that's why I thought like the kung fu active meditation helped them out.
Yes.
Because it's helping them move, and they're still getting some kind of physical stuff out of it, but at the same time they're getting their thoughts out, they're reevaluating the situation, they're thinking more positive, and I think it's been a very helpful thing for
Yes.
my organization, and
Yes.
which me and my brother do.
Yes, and we definitely should try to do something together. I would say you're right. You're spot on because for me, martial arts was. I mean, it brought me to a point of meditation. And I wasn't meditating on destroying.
Yep.
But I was realized, hey, I'm breathing, and I'm in contact with my fingers and my toes and where they are, and for that moment, my mind leaves the trouble of the world, and it's on me and my wonder. My mystery, my miracle of life. And sometimes people don't even realize I'm breathing. How many people know how many bones are in their foot? I mean, we are a walking miracle. And without saying all that, through what you do, gets that child or that boy to find that area without words. He's finally feeling him without the world interfering for a few moments.
Yep.
And that's what's happening. It's so much interference. Every thought after thought after thought, this, that, and
Not just that, but like everything around us.
Yeah.
Just a
Jesus, I mean,
constant
the
bombardment.
internet is we're just so much stuff just
TV.
bombarded. Yeah, just
am I in the right style? Do I look pretty?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they got the right
exactly.
car. Am I
Oh, my
shoes right?
social media is this,
Yeah.
and it's
Your
just-
peers, your
yeah,
parents,
it's crazy,
everything.
man.
But sometimes, but when
Strangers.
it needs to stop for a moment. We need to have a time when it all stops and we concentrate on this miracle.
Serenity,
and,
inner peace.
But a lot of
And,
people don't know how to do it. Though.
Right,
They
right.
need to be instructed or taught or
Right.
or sent to a place where they can kind of
Right.
understand what's going on.
Right.
I have a recommendation.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
What's
I keep some little spiritual books by my bed with my gratitude journal I talked about last episode. But before, like, even if I'm really tired and I'm like getting ready to go to bed, like right before I go to bed, I open my little spiritual book and I just have some time of serenity with the divine and universe and God and whatever you want to call it. But I kind of have some time with myself and I get into a positive mindset, and I think it helps me kind of go to bed in a good state. Like, and I think that's a good thing to recommend, because it's like, you know, a lot of times when you go to bed, I mean, that's like the most peaceful time of your day. It's like you're in bed asleep. I mean, unless you're like, you know, got crazy people running around making noise, but
Yeah.
let's hope you don't.
Well, and this is why you do what you do, and my vibrational sound therapy. This is what I guarantee will happen to you. You will come to this workshop, and you will forget about the world and the worries,
Oh,
and
nice.
you will center in on you and the miracle that you are. Now, what you do after you leave is up to you, but I guarantee you, when you come into the room and you feel the vibrations, you will find your center.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
is your
like a
workshop,
little
is that, how many times do you do it? Is it once a week, once a
They're
They're
month?
kind of new.
Yes, it's new. I've just started
This is
up.
the second one.
Yes.
Second one, okay.
And I'm going to be doing it monthly.
Okay.
I have workshop 1, 2, 3, and 4, and stylistically, professionally I was an opera singer, but I grew up on many styles of music, so there will be a variety of styles, and I have one workshop where we're going to do vibrational dancing.
Oh,
And,
nice.
And you know,
Explain that.
well,
Yeah, I wanna see- I wanna know what that is.
Well, martial arts. I mean, when you finally
Right.
feel that surge,
Uh-huh.
and you feel that energy moving
Yeah.
in your body,
Yeah.
and all that, all those moves that you work so hard at become second nature, and
Yep.
you just move and you flow. And
Because that could have been like people dancing around with vibrators and stuff.
Ah,
I'm just kidding.
That's I may have that one too. But basically, music sends out vibration, and I've constructed some instrumental pieces that's up tempo, that's meditative, yet it moves you. And I have a symphony of animals I put together. And I mean, vibrations. My workshop is about us understanding the planet better, each other better, and making this miracle. Oh, no, ceasing to mismanage the miracle of life.
okay.
And we are in that right now. Humans are mismanaging a great gift, life, that we've been given, and it doesn't need to be this way. And how do we get that across? How do we change it? And I'm convinced that the right vibrations have to begin to go out from everyone. It starts with me, it starts with you. And someone says that you can't change the world. I said,
Yes,
maybe
you
not,
can.
but I said I can be part of a change we make together.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
one person can change the world. I mean,
Absolutely.
look at you. You
Absolutely.
said Martin Luther King.
Absolutely.
He was a very strong-willed person. He
Absolutely.
wasn't going to take crap from anybody, and he stayed on mission. And now, look at the difference today. And
Absolutely.
people don't realize like the hardships that led to the freedoms now. But it's almost like you have to constantly struggle with whatever dark forces. We're a collective consciousness.
Yes.
We're a bunch of people with our own little awareness,
Mm-hmm.
and there are people they're looking through life through a different windshield.
Yes.
So it's almost like trying to get them to see things differently and act differently for the betterment of the whole.
Yes.
You know, as best you can. You know, you can't control anybody,
Right.
but you can at least try to make them, you know, see a different way.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You know what you talk about Martin Luther King?
Yes.
And the funny thing is this wasn't something that this is just by chance. So every week I put a inspirational message on like my board, like in my room. So when I get up,
A
it's the
new
first-
one?
Yeah, it's the first thing that I see
Cool.
every week. Okay, and the person that this week I have
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Oh, great.
Let me read it to you.
I love it.
If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward.
That's right.
MLK.
That's true.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
When I was a little kid, where I grew up, I was, you know, we didn't
Synchronicity.
have video games, right? And I used to like to watch
that's
plants.
too bad.
Yeah, and I was always amazed how these plants would break through the cement. It would
Yeah.
just crack it. And I would sit there and just, okay, I would hit the cement with a hammer. I said, now how did that soft plant find its way through that? By what you just read. it crawled.
Keep on
It
moving.
it pushed ever
Life finds a
all
way.
night, all day. If you push, you'll break things that are unbreakable.
You know, I was
Yeah.
driving here today,
Yeah.
and I was thinking how everybody's on their way to somewhere. There's cars everywhere.
Yes.
Everybody's got their little mission they're going on, and I was thinking, like, nobody really... I'm sure there's a lot of times people have no earthly idea what they're actually doing. They're like, I'm living life. I'm just going through the motions. Like, we have no idea, like, the actions... the choices, like, the consequences that could be of our choices. And sometimes, like, we could have the best intentions with the choices we make, and then they have these disastrous consequences sometimes for whatever reason, like, when we don't understand why. But the whole point of me bringing this up is, like, living your life, but just trying your best not to hurt others in the process. You know, like, don't harm, don't beat, don't slap, don't gossip and talk bad if you can help it. Like, just try to be more in peace and harmony with everything, you know.
Yes. And hey, that's what we're about. So you and I and you, we're sending out vibrations to.
Well,
the world
and
and-
with your message and stuff,
Yes.
you're singing and that has a very, and you're talking and it has a very powerful vibration, just your voice alone. But the words that you pair with it
Right.
amplifies the powerfulness of what the sound is.
Yes.
So it's like you're saying such soothing things to soothe people's soul
Yes.
at a very deep level. And that's why that child who was so hurt, he was so innocent, but he was so hurt. But that wounding was healed with the Band-Aid, with the words and the song. And,
Yes.
that's why I wanted to have you on the show to explain that so more people can, look into that. Honestly, I've been promoting pretty hard for people out there. If maybe you're having trouble with your money or whatever, but you can go on YouTube and get free meditations of all different kinds. You can just type in, what type are you looking for? Do you want to heal your heart
That's right.
chakra?
That's right.
Do you want to heal from abuse? Do you want to heal from this or that? Like,
You can do the one
take-
I'm doing, 30
Yeah,
day
what-
law of attraction. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you explain that a little bit to people?
Oh, it's just like any kind of
Well, we got 2 minutes.
2
so
minutes?
Do
Okay.
it quick, because
All
I
right,
got to
all right.
wrap up the show.
All right, so it's just the law of attraction. Everybody, you have you heard of the book, The Law
Yes,
of Attraction?
absolutely.
You know what the law of attraction
course.
is?
Absolutely.
Well, just take 30 days out. Each day, you need to meditate for 10 minutes. Think about what you want in your life. What
Write
do you
it
wanna-
down. Write with a journal.
Well, not even
I
write
do.
it down. You can if you want, but it's not necessary because most of our stuff, vibrations, thoughts, feelings, it'll come to you. But if you think positive things will come to you. If you think negative things will come to you. But 10 minutes in the morning before you get out of bed, or maybe if you did get out of bed, just before you drink your coffee or get ready for work or before the busy day starts, do that 10 minutes. And you get 10 minutes is not a long time. You wake up an extra 10 minutes, 30 days, and I guarantee you'll see a change. It's like a domino effect. You
Yeah.
start thinking positive things
That's true.
happen, positive vibrations happen to you. You start seeing
Yeah.
positive things around you. The negative people and things kind of like
kinda
start
deflect.
eliminate themselves.
I back that 100%, bro. That
Okay,
is true.
so
That's true.
if you want to learn more about KB Solomon, go to his website, kbsolomon.net, and Orpheus for Peace.
Orpheus.net.
Say it again.
Orpheusforpeace.net.
I just didn't want
Or
to mess it up.
kbsolomon.net.
DevonrickJohnson.com.
Yeah.
For all of your coolness and stuff. You,
Hey,
got,
you
I like
can
your-
also go to brothersbychoicellc.com. You can see what me and my brother are doing.
with
We
the
ha-
mentorships.
Yeah.
And I'm lastreetangel.com or thestreetangel.com if you can't remember that. So next week we've got actually it's going to be about fitness. A guy someone who pulled someone out of a burning car. It's
Oh,
like a hero
nice.
story. So
Oh, that's
be
cool.
sure to tune in next week to watch for that. It's a pretty cool story. And I just want to thank you for watching today. And your call to action is do something nice to a child. Be kind. Give them some crayons. Just make a impression in a light, positive way on a child's life. That's your call to action today. And thank you for watching. I love you very much for watching, and take care. Bye.
See ya.
See ya. Be well.
You are watching T Radio V, Radio and TV.